be aware of all the different types of people that are currently within the nation. So if the advisor wants a little bit more, what was it again? Spiritual guidance on the Christian side, or basically, like I said earlier, the Muslims create a government instead of Christians, then mostly we need to remember that America is still a free country, and such that some freedoms we must take. So I'm confusing myself. Basically, what I'm saying is that we can't just ignore the other beliefs of other religions. I mean, there are some similarities between Christianity and Jewish people, but there's also the differences. So maybe in some ways we can focus on what we have in common with other religions, but also maybe respect, the differences between them too.
I do believe that, to follow up your point of Sharia law, that unfortunately I do believe that if we're going to have the Christian Guidance Council where we're going to offer that as a choice, I feel like that could be just a side effect that has to maintain religious freedom. That's something that, worst case scenario, probably would happen and that should not happen, but I feel like that might be a side effect of the system we're going to use.
I have two completely unrelated questions for you. So, my first related question is, at this point, mostly assuming that the people who are being elected, the president is being elected to be the person of faith, whether it's Muslim or Christian or whatever, what do you think are the chances at this point in our country's history, because if you go back and look at past presidents, they're mostly religiously affiliated. In fact, you had a Catholic president, John Kennedy. So, what are the odds of a non-religious president being elected in the United States?
I'd say unlikely right now, but I do think the trend is going towards that. I don't know how near in the future that will be possible. I do know 18 people in the Congress claim that right now. That's an increasing number. As far as so the president, I don't see it as being viable in the current climate. I would say more viable than it was, but I still don't think we're there yet.
Would you, if you agree with all of the policies, vote for that individual? If they couldn't meet this, but you have all of their policies pro-life, whatever on immigration, you agree with all of their policies.
It would depend on who they're running against. If there was another Christian, they're running against a Christian who claimed Christianity, but I disagree with all of his policies, I would have to really think and pray about that. I don't know where I'd go. If they were against someone that I didn't agree with their religion or their policies, I'd vote for them first. But if it's against a Christian faith, I think that's a real dilemma I have.
Other guys, do you have opinions?
I believe I would vote for the policy because personally I believe that church and state should be separated. But I believe that the influence of Christ should be felt in Congress, but I don't believe that it needs to be heavily influenced in Congress. So if they have all the policies that fit a line up with my biblical worldview, that's still my biblical worldview, so I feel like I would be okay, and that I feel like my relationship with God would still be intact if I voted for them, because I'm not voting for my religious beliefs, I'm voting for the well-being of the political climate of the United States. So I believe it's a little bit that.
It's kind of a side question. Would you vote for a presidential candidate that claimed to be a Christian, but who, by all accounts, lived life, maybe or not, and maybe have done and said some terrible things, but maybe you agree with most of their policies?
Well, I guess in a somewhat sense, maybe it's just more complicated with them. Like maybe they want to be Christian, but in some ways they may see that it's hard to be one in the position they're in. So you could say that they want to be liked by believers and the non-believers. And if you're a non-believer who doesn't exactly Christians because of certain opinions you've heard, then you might at least try to respect the other people.
I think God encourages us to pray for each election we make and your choice in that. And I feel that if this person claimed to be Christian but did not act Christian, I feel like that would definitely be something you would have to pray for. But also you're looking against who is the other choice or what would happen if we didn't elect them. But praying for an election is a big thing for me. I think God has an influence on every election, and that you really need to pray about a choice before you make it.
Do you vote for the lesser of two evils? Or do you feel like if somebody's morally disqualified from leading the country, does that play a role in what you think?
I want to say that you would vote for the lesser of two evils, but as I said, I'd have to pray on it.
Is the lesser of two evils still evil?
It depends on who they are, but yes, it could be.
It has to go down to prayer a lot, because if you take someone going back to Bush at age 39, he found Christ. Before that, he was an alcoholic, was bad, and then Christ changed him. But then I feel like you take someone such as Donald Trump, who has repeatedly proven himself to go against what many Christians would consider the moral standard, or that we believe a politician to be. I believe there's no definite answer.
Yeah. And speaking of the lesser of two evils, I'd like to remember the elections between Trump and Hillary Clinton. And like a lot of things I hear about in the news is that a lot of people, they all favor Trump, and yet you see like a lot of politicians are still trying to find reasons to have him impeached even today, even though he's been president for like 2 years. That you can tell that they really don't want him to be reelected. And so in some ways they saw Trump as the lesser of the two evils next to Hillary Clinton. And so like they both hated some things about them, but they hated some less things about Trump. And you can tell that these politicians might not exactly be, Christian. And like, I'm not exactly sure what my opinion of Trump would be, but I kind of have a little bit of respect for him. Like, I know he's old and rich, experienced, so I like to feel like he knows what he's doing, but he might, want to focus.
Sorry about that.
I didn't get to ask my second question.
What was it?